I'm a digital artist and indie game designer, and as such, I'm always looking for new ways to improve my skills and create new and exciting projects. Last month, I ironed out some of the kinks in my video production pipeline, and that's why this month, I'm focusing on my patrons and community by hosting an event on my Discord server where I show off my current project and field some questions from the community. But that's not all I've been up to. In my spare time, I've been workshopping an idea for a 3D game prototype. The problem is, I've never made a game in 3D before. So this month, I'm really pushing myself to explore the depths of 3D and create a prototype that I can impress the community with. Because in just 6 days, I'll be live on Discord. After the dumpster fire that was last month's video, I was watching some Unity tutorials to learn how to use inverse kinematics and avoid animating walk cycles like this. I stumbled upon an interesting tutorial. It featured a prototype of a simple Starfox-like game, and as soon as I saw it, I had a brain blast. I knew immediately that I wanted to make my own version of this game, but as I delved deeper into the tutorial, I realized there was a lot more I needed to learn. So I spent the next few days working my way through tutorials and experimenting with different techniques and tools, all while learning about quaternions and how they can be used to create a more realistic and immersive game. I hope this comes through in the final product, otherwise I just wasted a few days. What if we took the classic gameplay of Starfox and combined it with the fast-paced action and randomly generated levels of an action roguelike? Here's what I'm envisioning. You're a ship, moving forward automatically but able to adjust your position within an inner bounding box. Your ship automatically fires a basic laser shot, but you can upgrade it to missiles, mines, and auto-targeting versions of all three of those weapons. Enemy types might include floating drones that fire dumb shots, flying drones that chase after you and try to line up a shot, walking drones, maybe even suicide drones. As you defeat enemies, you'll earn XP and level up, allowing you to choose which statistics to upgrade. And if that wasn't enough, I'm also thinking about elite mobs that offer new guns and better upgrades. It's a pretty big project, but I'm hoping to create a proof of concept prototype in just 6 days. It's time to dive into a new Unity project. I start by importing DoTween and some basic models that I can use for testing and prototyping. Using one of these models as a placeholder, I quickly set up a prototype of a player character that can fly around. It's not perfect, but it's a good start, and this is the preview I used in the last video. As I work on this prototype, I find myself getting lost in the creative process, and before I know it, several hours have passed. I'm having a lot of fun, but I also know that I need to take breaks and give myself time to recharge. So after a while, I decided to take a break and start a new run of Factorio on a strip world. This game is all about building and managing factories on an alien planet, gathering resources, researching new technologies, and fighting off hostile creatures. I've played it before, but I've never really gotten the hang of trains and main bus setups, so this time I'm determined to master them. I know it's going to be challenging, but rewarding. Oh wait, that's a different video. Sorry, my mind wandered for a second there. After a long day of industrialization, I was ready to tackle the next phase of my project. As soon as I woke up on day 2, I sat down at my desk and started sketching out some ideas for a sleek player model. I was inspired by the sleek lines of a B2, and I wanted to capture that same sense of grace and power in my model. With a clear vision in mind, I then sat down and got to work creating the model in just 30 minutes. I was surprised by how quickly it all came together, and I was very happy with the way it turned out. But as much as I enjoyed working on this project, I really couldn't resist the pull of Factorio. This game is all about building and managing your factory by iterating over it over and over again, with minor and major improvements. It's actually very similar to game development. I've been playing it for a while now, and I'm always looking for ways to make my factories run more smoothly and efficiently, so after I finished my player model, I spent the next 8 hours playing the game, slaving tirelessly to keep the iron-rich blood of my factory circulating. It was a productive day all around, and I made great progress on my project. I also had a lot of fun playing Factorio. I'm excited to see what the next steps will bring, and I can't wait to see how everything comes together. On the 3rd day of my project, I was ready to dive back in and make some serious progress. I spent the majority of my time setting up the Unity environment, making sure everything was configured the way I wanted it. I also spent some time experimenting with different ideas for the game, trying out different mechanics and features to see what worked and what didn't. One of the things I focused on was getting the player to fly around and collide with the walls using grate casts and rigid bodies. It was a bit of a challenge, but I was eventually able to get it working the way I wanted it to. I was pretty proud of the progress I made, and I was starting to feel more confident about the direction that the project was taking. But with only 3 more days left to get this project working and to my standards, the pressure was starting to build. I was determined to make the most of my time, but I might have taken a quick break to play some COD since it was a double XP weekend, but now it was time to get back to work and see what I could accomplish in these last few days. I was feeling energized and motivated. I was ready to give it my all. As I was gathering resources for this video, I stumbled upon a clip from Starfox 64, and I realized I had made a huge mistake with the control system for my game. Instead of looking up gameplay footage to get inspired from, I had relied entirely on my own memory. Scrapping all of the progress from the previous day and determined to get things right this time, I started over from scratch. Most of the day was spent fine-tuning the ship's look and feel, with Starfox 64 playing on my second monitor for inspiration. Once the ship felt good enough, I shifted my focus to creating a weapon for the player to use. Unfortunately, I hit a bit of a roadblock due to mental fatigue, but I'm determined enough to push through this. Don't do this. That's crunch. Crunch is bad. I also reused the code for the enemy weapon system. It's been a long and challenging day, but I'm excited to see what the next steps bring. It's time to get some rest and recharge for tomorrow. Today is a crucial day. With the big presentation for my patrons just around the corner, I have a whole day to work, so it's time to just get to work and add an enemy to the game. I started with a simple spinning and floating cube, gave it some health, and made it shoot at the player. But as it turns out, dodging bullets while shooting at the enemy is harder than it looks. That's when I remembered the sick dodge rolls and air dashes in Starfox, and I decided to add a similar mechanic to my game. It's actually pretty hard to use, thanks to the auto-forward movement and the combination of aim and flying controls. I toyed with the idea of a phase dodge where the player can temporarily fly through projectiles, or even a shield, but in the end I went with a shield because it was easier to implement. I also made the gun shoot 2 bullets and increase the base flight speed to make the gameplay feel a little more snappy and fun. As I worked, I realized that the new shield ability was actually really overpowered, so I started adding a stamina bar that could be used for boosting, slowing, and shielding. Unfortunately, the stamina system proved to be more technically challenging than I anticipated, so I had to drop it. With less than 16 hours until the presentation, I had to work fast to get everything else done. I managed to implement an enemy spawner, but I ran into some issues along the way. I didn't let that get me down, and I worked hard to solve them. Eventually, I succeeded. It's been a long and intense day, and I'm proud of everything I've accomplished. Now it's time to get some rest, because tomorrow morning the Discord is waiting for my presentation. I hope my patrons will be impressed with what I've created, and I can't wait to see what they think. The day has arrived, and I'm running out of time. The showcase is in just 1 hour, and I'm not ready. I'm feeling a mix of excitement and nervousness as I consider the questions that are swirling through my mind. What am I gonna say? How many people will be there? According to the event tab, 7 people will be at each of the events. A respectable count, but enough to make me nervous. With a deep breath, I open Unity and make sure my project is ready to show. And then... Good morning. Oh, my headphones are muted in one ear.
Lovely.
Yeah. Hold on a second.
Just wanted to say hello.
Oh, okay. Hi.
Have a good day.
Oh, you're not sticking around?
Nah, I'm in a call with another friend, and I noticed you're in this.
Oh.
And I didn't know what this is.
It's the January video event #1 for all the morning people / people on the other side of the world who stay up late.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. It's for the next video.
Oh, right. I should probably watch one of your videos eventually.
One just came out yesterday if you want to watch it.
Yeah, I saw that one. It had a bunch of the same letters in the front.
Yeah, alliteration? Yeah.
That's the word. I'll look at it later today if I can remember what channel it's in.
I mean, it's on my channel.
Oh, right, Skylar Beck. Yeah, I could just search that up. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, see ya.
Have a good time.
You too.
My hands were shaking as I started the presentation, but as I began to explain the various features and mechanics of the game, I could see the excitement and interest in their eyes. Now I have to wait. Yes.
What is a lerp?
Linear interpolate. So
that makes so much more sense. Thank you for clarifying.
You're welcome. The first reveal went pretty well. A few people joined and they were really interested and asked great questions.
I joined. I had a lot of fun for unrelated reasons.
Buddy.
Although I was a little nervous and I rambled a bit as I tried to explain my hard-to-read code, overall it was a success. I will see you maybe in, like, what is that, 8 hours? There's a second presentation this afternoon for anyone who couldn't make it in the morning, so I need to focus up and figure out a little bit of a better presentation style.
What are your plans in that 6 hours?
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Probably try to write a more coherent thing that I could, like, read based off of this experience.
You should make a really crappy PowerPoint.
To help with that, I added some comments to my code and got ready for the next round. Time to shine and show off all my hard work.
Hello there.
Hello.
The second reveal of my Unity project went even better than the first one. Significantly smaller turnout than I anticipated, but that's okay. I was nervous at first, but as soon as the event started, people were talking and participating in the conversation. It was really encouraging to see so much interest and excitement from the audience.
Did you have like a light bulb on moment?
It was more like a, oh, everything I did yesterday was all for nothing. I have to completely start over.
AKA game development.
I mean, at least you learned something.
That's game dev.
It was a really interactive and collaborative experience, and I loved hearing all of the suggestions for what I could add and tweaks I could make. These guys over here, these three, are shooters. They simply float up and down and spin in place and then shoot at the player. And these four over here are what I call drifters. They spin the opposite direction and they randomly move around the map. We even played around in real time with some of the settings based on their ideas. Yeah.
Dude, imagine other effects too. Imagine like the jet booster thing that you said.
Yeah.
And, like, you know,
You
like
have skulls, or you could have fire.
it'd be awesome. Or whenever you shoot one of these cubes, they blow up in a million pieces. All the debris like flying in your face.
A similar thing too, like Starfox's.
Stack up the boxes.
I'm not sure exactly how they do it, but
overall, it was very positive and productive. This effect.
When the cubes, there you go.
Oh, I didn't even notice it
amazing.
coming off of the cubes. Whoa.
Oh, it looks so good.
All right, well now I'm coming around.
To change the sky from clouds to like space stars.
Yeah, I don't
absolutely.
have a texture for that, but yeah, you absolutely can.
Yeah, it's definitely the kind of thing you can find for free if you want, but
for
yeah,
sure.
it just hasn't been.
I just haven't done it.
Yeah.
You can also just turn it
Oh,
off.
whoa. Yeah. Oh, whoa.
I'm really glad I decided to do these showcases for my Discord users, and I'll definitely be doing them more in the future. If you want to be part of these events and contribute your ideas and feedback, make sure to join the Discord. It's a great way to stay connected and get involved with the community. It's been quite a journey, working on this game prototype in Unity and preparing it to present to my patrons on Discord. Along the way, I've faced a lot of challenges, including some technical difficulties, mental fatigue, and the pressure to meet my own standards. But I didn't let that hold me back. I kept experimenting with different ideas and mechanics, and eventually I succeeded in creating a prototype that I'm really proud of. In the end, the presentations went well, the patrons showed interest and asked some great questions. I learned a lot from this experience, and I'm looking forward to what the future holds for me. Thank you so much for following me along on this journey and supporting my work. It means a lot to have your encouragement and support, and I couldn't have made it through this process without you guys. If you're interested in helping me out, you can support me on Patreon or here with a channel membership. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.